Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, this is going to be the first book review on my channel related to the subjects covered in my channel. Admittedly, this particular book might not seem rather obvious. For example, it's not a survival manual. However, this is a particular book that every adult should read at least once during their lifetime. Now, I will admit that this particular book is one I read a bit later in life than I'd say a lot of people do. I'll be honest about that. However, that gives me a rather interesting perspective because the only thing this book did was reinforce everything I've already learned during my time on this planet, and I've been here for a handful of decades. Now, despite what the title says, How to Win Friends and Influence People, quite frankly, knowing how most people behave towards each other, I think a more appropriate title would be How to Get Individuals to Do What You Want Them to Do by Manipulating Them. Now, that's just my opinion. But there's basically two ways a person can go about applying the principles and the concepts in this book. One, you can take a genuine interest in people and the things they care about. Or two, if there's someone out there who has something you need or want, this book will allow you to basically manipulate them. Now, the author never actually uses that word anywhere in this book, but there are times that he comes awfully close. You can tell that Mr. Carnegie was fully aware of how the information in this book could be misused by people who are a bit less than ethical. I mean, I'll give you guys a perfect example. Let's say you're going in for a job interview. Maybe it's at a place that pays really well. Basically a career interview. And the guy doing the interviewing is known for being a bit of a tough cookie. However, maybe you stumble across a magazine article or a news article in which you see that very same individual talking about his love of fountain pens. Okay. You can take that bit of inside information and you can do a couple of things. One, you can maybe try to develop a genuine interest in fountain pens yourself. See what makes them special to this highly important executive. Or you can just do what most people do, go online, research fountain pens, write down a few bullet points, memorize them, and if this particular job pays really well, maybe, just maybe, you go out there and you buy your own fountain pen. Something a little bit high-end, something with a really good reputation, something that might cost you $200 or $300. You show up at the interview with the pen clipped to the top of your shirt pocket, and chances are this executive will have a couple of his pens displayed, if not a sizable amount of his collection. Start the conversation on that, watch his face light up. Congratulations, you now have an opening to manipulate your way to a really good job or a really good career. I finished reading the first chapter in this book and it ticked me off. It ticked me off severely. You know why? Because there's a part of me that refuses to give up on the fact that most human beings are not noble, that most human beings really are not warm and caring and basically good inside. They're not. And that first chapter will absolutely emphasize that fact, not directly, but it ticked me off. It ticked me off because it told me what I already know. Seriously. How to win friends? You know what? Bake several trays of cookies. Learn how to bake. Make several trays of cookies, go to your neighbors, hand them out, you'll make friends. No, this book was originally a pamphlet, and it's been updated through the course of many, many years. This book is mainly designed for business people to get ahead, to allow them to get what they want. And even though the author never comes out and says it, to basically manipulate people into getting what you want. So how does that apply to my channel? Well, let's say there's a localized emergency and you need to get home. Maybe you didn't take my advice about putting a ton of money in your get-home bag. So you need to get home. There's an individual, he's got a vehicle, maybe he's a co-worker, maybe he's a stranger. Hey, if you read this book, then at least you'll have a chance of being able to manipulate them in order to get what you want. Make no mistake, this is a very important book. I do highly recommend it, even though I don't want to. And if you're one of those people who has delusions that most people are basically good or kind-hearted, this is gonna take away all those delusions. Yes, you can be a genuinely warm, caring person and develop an interest in what other people enjoy, or you can use the information in this book to get what you want. And I was reminded of how base, cold, and uncaring most people are right before making this video. So yeah, people pretend to be warm and sweet and kind-hearted, and then sometimes they make the mistake of showing their true colors. Let me tell you something, guys. I don't manipulate anyone. If someone's wrong, I let them know they're wrong. I don't keep my mouth shut because that's a great way not to make friends. That's actually one of the principles in this book. Don't ever actually tell someone that they're wrong, even if they are horribly wrong. That's actually a principle in this book. And I'm laughing because my mind does not work that way, guys. It doesn't. I told you I'd be blatantly honest with you, and I am. This is the real me. What you see in my videos, what you hear in my videos, this is the real me. I don't put on a face for YouTube. I don't put on a persona for YouTube. This is what you get. This is me. Me being honest, me being real. This is me in real life. This book ticks me off. The first chapter ticked me off. But you know what? This book will let you know how people actually think and how to manipulate them. So you know what? Get yourself a copy of this book. Make sure it's the latest one. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm a little ticked off all over again. Have a good one, guys.